What's going on, world? Welcome to Clearing the Wreckage podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be on the toilet or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I care, you could be wiping your tushy. But all I know is that I'm ready, and so I hope that you are ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What's going on, my wreckage clearers, my wreckage clearing community? We are back for another great episode. I walked into the coffee shop. I went up to the barista first. I see you sitting there waiting patiently for me. I walk up to the barista. She said, "Hey, Kareem." I said, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, is it okay if I purchase my drink, please?" She says, "Yes, I know your drink because I practice being present with you when you come in here, and I know your drink by heart, so I got it." So I'm like, "Thank you so much." She makes the drink for me. I grab it. Then I come and I sit down with you and I say, "Hey, what is going on with you?" You tell me how you're doing. You're like, "Hey, man, I'm really interested in more about this idea of practicing presence or being present. What are you actually talking about? I want to learn a little bit more on how to clear the wreckage with that. Can you please tell me a little bit more of your experience with practicing being present?" I waited for you to be finished talking. I did not interrupt you because I was practicing being present. I was practicing being right here, right now, in the current moment, waiting for you to finish so I can give you my response, but not waiting for you to finish so that I can give you a response, waiting for you to finish, fully engaged, listening to you ask me these questions. So I said, "Sure, well, I definitely will tell you a little bit more about this whole idea of practicing being present. What does it actually mean? We'll go a little bit more in depth today, and we will talk about it." So how many of us wake up in the morning and just start moving? You're probably like, "Kareem, that question doesn't really make any sense. I mean, we all wake up in the morning and start moving." No, we don't. I got another question. How many of us wake up in the morning and start looking at our phone? This is before we even brush our teeth. You start looking at your phone. How many of us, be honest, let's be honest with one another. This is the time where we look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. This is where we get real, doggone it. So if you can't be real with me, I don't know who you could be real with. But it's time for you to get real with yourself and get real with me. What's up? You look at your phone as soon as you wake up, don't you? What about as soon as you wake up, you run to the coffee pot? Or what about as soon as you wake up, you run to the refrigerator to grab a bagel or a slice of bread or out the cupboard or whatever, and you put it in the toaster? How many of us do that? I will tell you this. Very few of us in the world, out of 8 billion plus people, are not doing what I just said. Most of us are doing that in the morning time when we wake up. Most of us are checking our phone. Most of us are running to the kitchen, running to the coffee pot, running to the bathroom. We're doing all these things. And guess what happens? Can you take a guess what happens? You start worrying about the future or you're thinking about the past. Most likely, you're thinking about the future. You done went to the coffee pot and you're like, oh, man, hurry up, coffee. Man, I'm so tired. I need this coffee. I got this to do today. Oh, man, I got to be to work in 30 minutes. Oh, my gosh. Or you're thinking about the past. Oh, man, I woke up late. Oh, I'm going to be so late. Man, why did I do that to myself? You're condemning yourself. You're judging yourself for waking up late. Or you scroll on your phone for 30 minutes and then you condemn yourself after that. Man, oh my God, I just wasted 30 minutes. Why did I just scroll on my phone? Oh, I'm such a bad person. Oh, I'm such an idiot. No, I just wasted all my time. Or you just wake up and you just start getting dressed and you don't acknowledge anything at all. You're not aware that you even woke up. You just go. Some of you might even walk out the door without brushing your teeth. You're rushing so much. You're just like, brush my teeth on the way to work. Grab my toothbrush. You probably got a travel toothbrush and toothpaste in your car. I guarantee you it's somebody that's listening to this episode that's like, dang, that's me, Kareem. How did you know? The idea of practicing being present means cultivating mindfulness or a focused awareness of the current moment without judgment, allowing yourself to fully engage with your immediate experiences rather than getting lost in thoughts of the past or the future. That is what practicing being present is. So if you wake up and you look at your phone, you are not practicing being present. Because once you start looking at your phone and you're scrolling, I guarantee you're thinking about your past, or you're worried about your future, or you're comparing yourself to someone else. Or you're receiving these ads, or you're looking at these ads on these reels, and you're like, oh, I don't have that. I need that. That's the future. Or you're like, man, how come I haven't got that by now? I should already have that. That's the past. So practicing being present involves certain techniques like focusing on your breath, noticing your surroundings and physical sensations, letting go of labels or worries. The whole idea that I'm about to share with you is this. It is to be fully aware of what is happening right now. Right now. Now is the key word, and let me drop some wisdom on you. Let me drop some wisdom on you, shall I? Ooh, boy, I'm about to start preaching up in here. It is always now. Write that down. Write that. It is always now. Just as in the same way that I shared with you, it is always today. It is always now. Yesterday is history. The future is a mystery. All you have is today. But I would tell you this. It is always now. Always. So this is the core idea of being present or practicing it. It is to be fully aware of what is happening right now. And if you can focus on that and practice being present, it will lead to a range of benefits, such as your anxiety level will be reduced. Your stress level will be reduced, man. It improves your focus. It increases your happiness. It builds better relationships. And it gives you an overall sense of fulfillment. And the first relationship that it improves is the one with yourself. You do not have a good relationship with yourself if you are condemning yourself for thinking about the past, and if you're condemning yourself for thinking about the future. And secondly, if you are worried about the future so much, and if you're regretting the past so much, you are not being good to yourself. Let me just say that one more time. You are not being good to yourself. That is not taking care of yourself. If your brain is constantly going back and forth like the pendulum, remember that analogy? If it's just going da, 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 back and forth, how are you being good to yourself? Please explain that to me. Somebody please explain that to me. There's no way you're being good to yourself. So being present helps you improve your relationship with the most important person, and that is you. You are the most important relationship. That's the most important relationship, the one that you have with yourself. And if you're not having that type of relationship with yourself, how in the world, somebody please tell me this. Somebody please tell me, how are you going to have a good relationship with other people? How is that going to come out of you? The only thing that's going to come out of you is your worries of the future and your regrets of the past. There's nothing positive that's going to come out of you. There's nothing positive that you can give to the other person. You're just giving the other person a bunch of stress and anxiety. Whoo, man. Oh, boy, don't let me start preaching up here. Don't bring your baggage to relationships. Clear your wreckage. Clear your wreckage by working on a relationship with yourself. That's what we're doing here. That's why we're here. That's why I'm sharing this experience with you, so that we can do this together. We are on this journey together, and we are going to enjoy this journey. Why? Because we are going to become fully engaged, fully aware of what is happening right now, the present moment. We're enjoying the journey. We ain't worried about the destiny. Well, Kareem, I don't know if I'll ever become present. I don't know if I can ever practice that. We ain't worried about that. I don't want to hear you worried about the future. What we're thinking about right now is is what we can do now to practice mindfulness, to practice becoming aware, to practice becoming awake. I know that they use this term woke in such a way that is, and in some ways is good, but in some ways they're not talking about the idea of practicing being present. Because being awoke actually means being awake, being fully engaged, aware of your senses, aware of what is going on around you without judgment. So the whole woke movement is full of judgment. Let me just say that. Because you can be woke in the right manner, or a good manner, I should say. I don't want to label it myself. But the word woke to me means I'm awakened consciously. My consciousness is awake, and I can feel, I can see, I can hear, I can taste. Yes, I am fully engaged in the current moment. And I can fully see and hear what is going on around me, and I don't have any judgment for it. I don't have any judgment of what the person is doing around me. I'm aware of what they're doing around me, but I'm not going to judge that. I'm just aware. I'm present, and I'm aware because I'm focused on what is happening right now. There's nobody around me, by the way, except me, but I was just sharing an example. So what does it mean to be present? What does it mean, Kareem? It just means to be fully engaged, an engaged process of awareness, engaged awareness. What that means is you must be silent in order to listen. I've already shared this with you. You must be silent in order to listen. That's what that means. And it means listening to all of your parts, all of your senses, being fully aware of your body, your mind, your spirit, your environment in the here and now, in that current moment, being fully aware of it. Right now, I'm fully aware that my fingers are tapping on my right arm. I'm tapping my fingers on my right arm. Right now, I'm fully aware of my heartbeat. My heart is beating right now. Right now, as I breathe in and out, I'm fully aware of my breath. I notice it right now as I breathe in and out again. I am observant of the fact that I just intook oxygen inside of my lungs, which give me life, and I just pushed out carbon dioxide, which produces life for other organisms. Whoa, hold on now, don't let me start preaching up in here. Are you even aware of that? Well, Kareem, that's just regular biology. That's just typical science, yeah? But are you engaged in the current moment to even notice and be aware of that actual fact? Because once you're aware of that actual fact, it gives you a deeper appreciation for life itself. It increases your happiness and your fulfillment, and then it will reduce your stress and anxiety because you're not thinking about any future things coming up. And you're not thinking about the past that you regret so much. You're only thinking about, oh my goodness, I just breathed in oxygen, gives me life. I just pushed out carbon dioxide and the freaking trees come to life. Whoo! I must be a powerful human being. That's what you're thinking about. Then you say, thank you to the one who created all of that and who gave you that power to partake in the production of life. Wow, what a privilege. I get to partake in the cycle of life. I am not this abstract being that has nothing to do with the trees or the flowers or the animals or the other creatures. I am a part of this. And that means being a part of this means that it cannot go on without me. Not right now, at least. That's what that means. Right now, this is going on with me being in participation, sharing in this divine nature right now. That's what we're focused on in the present. Let me tell you something right now. The present is a present. And the presence is a present. When you become present, you engage yourself into connection with the presence that has always been around you. Always. Always. You know why? Because it is always now. And that presence is always in the present. You ever wonder why they use that term for another way of saying gift. You ever think about that? Have you ever been present enough to think about that in and of itself? Have you thought about that? Oh, gift is another word for present. Well, maybe the present is a gift in and of itself. Maybe it is designed for us to unwrap. Ooh, don't let me start now. To unwrap this amazing gift that has been given to us, which is the now. The fact that I get this moment is a gift. The fact that I get this present moment is a gift. Your awareness, you're fully engaged in your awareness. You are fully aware. That is what it means to be present. It also means focusing on the now. You're not worried about the future events or dwelling on the past experiences, but instead you are focused on this moment right now. And I pray, my God, that you are focused on this moment right now while I'm talking to you. Don't you want when you're talking to somebody to give you undivided, full attention, fully engaged, no distractions? Don't you feel disrespected a little bit if you're talking to somebody and they pick up their phone and start scrolling or texting while you're in mid-conversation? Woo! I know you feel that way. But let me tell you something about, let me give you a fact of life, though. Let me give you a fact of life. If you're not practicing being present, you will not receive that present. Woo! Hold on, what? You might want to write that down. Don't let me start preaching up in here now. If you are not practicing being present, you will not receive that present. You want somebody to be fully engaged and give you undivided attention. Well, you got to be the one to put your phone down first. And you got to be the one to practice being silent so that you can listen. And when you listen, you want to be fully engaged to understand exactly what this person is saying, understand their point of view. You don't have to agree with it, but you want to understand it a little bit. Because when you're focused on the present and that current moment, what does it produce? It produces better relationships, which means you're hearing this person share their feelings or what they're going through, and then you can have some empathy. You can start to put yourself in their shoes because you're fully engaged. You are taking yourself through the same moment that they're having with you. That's how engaged you. That's what being present means. Somebody sharing their trauma with you, you hop into their mind, into the current, into the now. It also means having non-judgmental observations. I just talked about this. You got to notice your thoughts, man. You got to notice your thoughts. I talked about this. I just talked about this on the last episode. Remember how I talked about how, I said that I didn't want this episode to be too long or whatever, and I said that I did think that thought, but I thought the thought, and the thought just went right through my head. I did not focus on that thought. And what do I mean by that? So, if I said something, I want to adhere to that. I want to stick to that. That's my own judgment that I place upon myself, right? I did say that, and I had the thought. Practicing being present means allowing myself to think that and not condemning myself for having a freaking thought. Because that's what my mind is going to do, right? My mind's going to race from thought to thought. My mind's just going to do that. And having that thought, all I did was notice it. Yep. Okay. That's fine. as of right now, I'm enjoying the current moment. And then just let it pass. So non-judgmental observation is noticing your thoughts, but allowing them to just flow through your brain and exit out. Because what happens is when we're not being present, we let those thoughts come in and then we focus on those thoughts. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Oh, I got to be somewhere in 30 minutes. Oh, man, I got to hurry up and record this. Oh, gosh, hurry up, Kareem. And then I'm distracted. And then I'm not thinking about. I'm distracted. I'm not completely engaged in this conversation with you. Because I'm thinking about where I got to be 30 minutes from now, how long it's going to take me to get ready, what time I should cut this recording off, and how fast can I get dressed, and how fast can I drive to beat the traffic to get there. Thinking of all that instead of enjoying the current moment that I have with you. That's just an example. I'm not thinking of any of that stuff right now. I do not have to be anywhere in 30 minutes, thank God. But that's an example of non-judgmental observation. You just notice it. You just observe it. That's it. It's just observe it. Do not try to change your thoughts. Just observe it. Do not label it, oh, man, you shouldn't have that thought. Why are you thinking that way, Kareem? Nope. You just observe the thought. Then the other way of staying present and what helped me was, remember, I just shared this on episode One Day at a Time, doing one thing at a time, man, focusing on one thing at a time. Let me tell you something. My dad used to tell me something when I was younger that I did not understand because I was a kid. I had a kid mind. My mind wasn't developed. I did not know a thing. I was still learning, and still I don't know a thing. I am still learning. He said to me, son, take your time and do it right. And, now that plays in my head when I'm doing something. Yeah, Dad, if you're listening, your voice is in my freaking head. And, but the way that I see it now is completely different from how I saw it as a kid. Completely different. As a kid, I used to be like, man, whatever, yeah, maybe I should take my time and do it right. But I ain't got time for that. Now, I see it as doing one thing at a time and getting it done right. You see how that changes? Doing one thing at a time and getting it done right. Single tasking. And doing it right for me means enjoying this single task that I am doing in the current moment, in the here and now. Enjoying it. Enjoying it. And there are things that I want to tell you, there are things that I do not like doing. There are so many things that I do not like doing that I don't want to do. And if I focus on that before I start doing something, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. But if I'm practicing being present and being fully engaged in each moment, when the next moment comes, I'm going to be fully engaged in that one. And when it comes to tasking or single tasking, doing one thing at a time, it is simply that. Focusing, engaging yourself on that one thing. Don't focus on the end. Oh my gosh, I can't wait till I get this done. That's the future. And then don't focus on it, man, I should have done this a long time ago. That's the past. You're creating anxiety. We create anxiety. Anxiety is not just out there, waiting to attack us. We put this on ourselves. We create that by thinking of the future and regretting the past decisions. So with that being said, taking one thing and accomplishing it. When I go to the gym, for instance, I'll give an example, and I get on that treadmill, and I'm walking, I know that I'm putting one foot in front of the other as I walk. If I'm running, I'm putting one foot in front of the other as I run. I can only walk a certain way. That is how walking works. One foot, then the next foot. Running works the same way. One foot, then the next foot. One leg, then the next leg. I can't move 2 feet at the same time on a treadmill. That is hopping, and if I try to hop on a treadmill, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? A really bad, tragic accident will happen if I try to hop while I'm on a treadmill. And I'm not a bunny rabbit. I am a human being. I'm designed to actually do one thing at a time. I have 2 hands. I have 2 feet. Yes, I can pick up an item with both of my hands if need be, but I am able to use one hand if that item doesn't weigh that much, or if the item fits in my hand that I need, I can use one hand. If I have a bag of groceries, or if I have multiple bags of groceries, then I could use both of my hands to take multiple bags out of the car. However, I do not have to grab everything at once. You know what normally happens when you do that? A tragic accident. Only take what you can in one hand and what you can in another hand. Only put what you can on one foot and what you can on the other foot. Hold on, now let me start preaching now. Be where your feet are. That is what it means to be present. My foot is on the ground in front of me, and then I'm going to move my other foot in front of me. Or my feet are placed right up underneath me as I stand still. Everything is fine in this moment. Everything is great in this moment. Now, why is it so beneficial for all of this? Why are you talking about all of this, Kareem? Well, it reduces stress and anxiety. We talked about this last week, how anxiety is just what? Worrying about the future or thinking about the past or having regrets of the past and so focused on it that it just brings up fear and uncertainty of the future and, you know, all of that, right? So it reduces that. It reduces your cortisol level and it's not increasing your stress because you're not allowing your mind to focus on worries. You can feel more relaxed and in control and improves your focus. It clears your mental distractions and can lead to a clearer, more focused mind. It improves your relationships. As I stated earlier, being present means truly listening and engaging with others, which can, what does that do? That builds and strengthens your connection with them. It also increases your happiness and your fulfillment of life. You start to enjoy the journey rather than thinking about the destination. You start savoring those small joys and being more engaged with daily experiences, and that leads to a greater sense of meaning in life. You begin to have more of an appreciation for life. Now, let's get back to the beginning of this episode, the questions that I asked you. How many of us are waking up and we just scroll on our phone? How many of us are waking up and running to the kitchen? How many of us are waking up and doing this, that, and a third? Let me tell you something about your feet. Let me tell you something about my feet, at least. Let me tell you something about my feet, because I'm here to clear the wreckage. Let me tell you something about my feet. When I put my feet on the ground after I wake up, I'm gone. I'm gone. You know why I'm gone? Because my mind was already in front of my feet. Whoo! Boy, you might want to write that down. My mind was already in front of my feet. As soon as I open my eyes, my mind is all the way on the next day. Not even on this day. Focus on, Saturday or Sunday or Monday. Or focus on all the things that I have to do. So when my feet hit the ground, I'm gone and I'm trying to accomplish all those things that my mind was telling me that I had to do. I was thinking of the future. I am thinking of the future when my eyes open. Hell, and matter of fact, before I go to bed, my mind is thinking of the future. I know I am not alone in that. I know I'm not the only one that has racing thoughts about the future before they go to sleep. I know I'm not the only one that has a hard time getting his mind to shut off in order to go to sleep. In fact, I barely even sleep, not just due to that, but yeah. Due to a lot of the past is why I barely sleep, and I shared that with you on episode 14 about PTSD. Yes. But anyway, so with that being said, here's something that I do, and you can practice this tool if you want to. This is something that helps me to stay present, helps me enjoy the current moment and stay in the now, which is fully transparent, by the way. It's fully naked. Fully naked. Explain, Kareem. Well, you're engaged in everything when you're in the now. You can hear every single thing that is going on inside of your body and your mind. You can hear it. You're not judging it. It's just naked. Transparency, man. The thoughts are just coming in. You're letting them come in and you're letting them exit out. You're letting them come in and then you're just letting them exit out. You're not taking the time to analyze and try to understand every single thought that comes into your mind. You just let it come in and you let it exit right out. The present is naked. It's the naked. It is naked. There's nothing attached to it. In other words, nothing attached to it. All right. With that being said, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So something I do is when I wake up, when I open my eyes, I roll over onto my knees. Yes, you heard me correctly. I roll over onto my knees. I know back in the day, in 2016, when I was sharing this with you last week, I had a closet that I went into. I sat in there in an enclosed space. I did what I had to do to enjoy the moment. Now, I roll over onto my knees. And this is a practice that I have been doing for over 7 years. So 2 of those years in recovery, I was inside my closet. The other 7, I've been on my knees. Yes. And when I get on my knees, I am silent. I know, you probably automatically thought, man, when you get on your knees, you start praying. Nope, I don't say one word. I don't say anything. I am quiet. I focus on my breath. I breathe in. I breathe out. I become fully engaged. I allow myself to become fully engaged in this current moment first before I start talking to my higher power. I become fully aware of my senses, engaged in my senses. I feel my old crusty knees on the ground. I'm not old, but I'm 45. I feel it. I feel it now when I hit the floor. I feel my hands come together. I feel myself breathe deeply in and out. I feel my head up against my chest as my head lays upon the bed up against my arms. I'm engaged with my senses. And then I say thank you. I don't even pray. I don't even pray, man. I don't even pray. Matter of fact, I ain't got to pray. You don't want me to go there with you. I ain't got to pray. I'm enjoying the moment so much. I'm so engaged in that moment that my connection with the presence is a present. And I know that I am in the present and I've been given a present. Whoo! Did you catch that? Did you catch that? So I know that I've been given a present so much I can feel the presence. I can feel it. I unwrap it. And I just say thank you. For one, thank you so much for waking me and giving me breath, the breath that I'm breathing right now in and out, the oxygen that is coming inside of my body, the carbon dioxide that I am flowing outside of my body, that somehow, some way, some mysterious way, I don't know how it works, is producing life to these creatures that are outside of me. The trees, the flowers, oh my goodness, for some reason, I don't know how, it's very mysterious, but the trees and the ocean and the wind somehow is giving me oxygen. What in the world is happening right now? Thank you so much. And I can end this podcast episode on that. That is practicing being present, my friends. That is practicing being present. I'm fully engaged. I can notice and observe the presence around me, which has always been there, never leaves, never forsakes me, always in the now. And I become fully aware of all of those things. And then I begin to hear this presence or my higher conscience speak to me and tell me what to be grateful for. I'm not even the one praying. Don't let that go over your head. Don't let that go over your head. But it's almost like I'm so grounded, I'm so connected that I'm just saying thank you. And I start to thank my higher power, this higher source, for all that I have, all that I am, all that it is. And then I start to thank God for all the people, for my family, for all these people that are in my life, for recovery, for the wreckage that you're clearing. Oh my goodness. And then I'm just thanking God for so many things. And then I pray a little prayer. And I barely pray. Because as I'm thanking this creator, I'm thanking this being for everything that this being has created, everything that this being has given me. It includes those people, it includes those relationships, and with those people that I'm thanking this being for, I'm asking this great being, this great power to protect them, to give them what they need throughout the day. That is a way that helps me stay present. I'll give you another example, and that is I fill my bathtub up with water. And when I do that, and I don't do this every day, but there are times that I do it. And when I do it, this helps me to be present. Fill my bathtub up with water. You can go to the store and get you some if you want to. Epsom salt foam bath. I go and I get that. And I fill my tub up with water. I listen to the water. I feel my hand. My fingers touch the water so I can figure out what the temperature is. Okay, so I'm engaging my senses. I'm hearing the water flow. and I'm watching it increase in the level that I want it to, and it increases. It goes inch by inch up the tub, and then finally I turn the water off, and then I hop into the tub. I don't hop. I gently place myself into the tub, and I lay in the tub, and I sit and I lay in there in silence. I'm not in there to bathe. Go in there and I sit in silence. Then I start to smell the fragrance from the Epsom salt foam bath. I smell the fragrance from the candle that I have lit. I start to hear all the sounds around me. And I am engaged and fully aware of that current moment that is happening. As I breathed in and breathed out, I am breathing in the essence. I'm breathing out. Oh my gosh. That, my friends, is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. And that is one of the ways that I stay present. Some of the other ways are when I go places and I'm walking inside of the store, I see people, I become fully engaged with them. I become fully aware of where I am at in that store, what aisle I am on, what are the items on this shelf, what it is that I'm looking for. I practice this moment by moment. No, I am not great at this. I am still learning this. And let me tell you this, my friends, this will be a journey. This will be something that I will be learning to grow in, but the idea is to grow in it, right? I will be growing in this because there will always be now, and I get the opportunity to practice being present. So I want to just say to you, thank you so much for being here with me and being present with me in this current moment. Yes. I want to read something to you right now. This is in one of my books that I have. The author is Richard Rohr. You can pick the book up if you want to. It is a meditation book called Yes and in this one of these paragraphs he's talking about consciousness. He writes, the word Buddha means I am awake. That's what the word Buddha means. Did you know that? Anyway, the last words of Jesus before his arrest in the garden were also stay awake, Matthew 26:38. So to be awake is to be fully conscious. Remember I just talked about being awake? That's what awake means. That's what being present means. The Buddhists sometimes call it object-less consciousness. That means not attaching objects to anything. I might just call it undefended knowing. It is a consciousness where we are not conscious of anything in particular, but everything in general. It is a panoramic, receptive awareness whereby we take in all the moment offers without eliminating anything or attaching to anything. We just watch it pass. That's all I got for you today. I appreciate y'all. And we're staying present. So just until then, take the time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.